Hello, hello!
Welcome!
Welcome to Courageously Kind. I'm Maddie.
And I'm Liz
Thank you for joining us today.
for another wonderful episode.
Today's episode is going to be a bit serious,
Very important to us.
very near and dear to our hearts, and something that we feel really passionate about.
Yeah.
So if you only listen to one of our episodes, let this be it.
Yes. Most important.
Today we're talking about face equality. I know that is a concept that not a lot of people are actually familiar with,
Yeah.
but we're hoping to change that.
Yes. So face equality, the definition kind of varies, but down to its core, it's the fair and equal treatment of people with facial differences or disfigurement. So it's basically just saying how we treat people who look different than us and why we should treat them equally.
Love it. Love it. So I know what you may be wondering. You might be wondering, is this really a big issue? I saw recently someone was campaigning for face equality and someone else said, we really shouldn't be focusing on this issue at this time. There are more important issues we need to be focused on. But there's actually a long and messy history of discrimination against people with facial differences.
Yes, there's been a very horrible history of this discrimination that kind of got swept under the rug. Nobody likes to talk about it because it's uncomfortable, and nobody wants to acknowledge that it existed and that it still exists today.
So I have a few facts about facial discrimination in history, and while it can be dated back, centuries and centuries, we're going to start with sort of more recent, I guess you could say, and this is after World War I, so this is within the last century. After World War I, soldiers in Britain who were left facially altered due to war were actually encouraged to segregate from their communities because of their facial disfigurements.
Oh, it's so horrible.
It's
you just
so
come home
awful.
from war.
And you have to deal with the psychological trauma.
Yeah.
And
And now they're saying to you, hey, you have to go and be isolated.
Simply because they look different. Wow.
Crazy.
What's even crazier is that U.S. cities such as Chicago actually had laws called ugly laws, where people could be arrested if they looked facially different. And these laws were not repealed until 1974, which was less than 50 years ago.
That blows my mind. That blows my mind.
Yeah, mine too.
It's crazy. So one of the reasons this is so important to us, if you don't know, I'm Liz, by the way, if you don't know our voices, I have a facial difference that I was born with. It predominantly affected one side of my face. And so I've had to live and see how people treat facially different people my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
So this cause is so important and so personal to us because of our experiences.
Yeah. So we actually took a poll, I guess you could say, on our Instagram for people to ask us questions, because I think face equality is something people don't really know where to start.
Yeah.
They have a lot of questions. There's a lot of
Confusion,
unknowns.
Yes.
So we actually have a list of questions here, some for Liz, some for me, some for both of us.
Wow.
And we'll just jump right in.
All right.
So Liz, the first question is for you.
Okay.
Have you ever wished you didn't have golden heart syndrome?
I don't think I've ever thought, I wish I didn't have it as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I wish I didn't have to go through certain experiences.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a firm believer in, we all have a plan. Our lives, we go through what we go through for a reason.
Absolutely.
And so I don't think I've ever wished that I didn't have it altogether.
what do you think is the most challenging thing about the fight for face equality?
I think, we, the facially different community,
Mm-hmm.
have had to constantly repeat ourselves and saying we're just like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what's the most challenging part is that no matter how many times we say it or scream it, it still feels like we're not always heard.
Mm-hmm.
We say, we're just like everybody else. But the fact that we still have to constantly be explaining ourselves and justifying ourselves, I think is most frustrating.
This question is for me.
Yes.
I'll ask myself.
I can ask you if you want.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. This one?
Yeah, that one.
Do you think people have treated you, Madeline,
Mm-hmm.
better than Liz?
I really liked this question. I think it was really insightful. And the answer in short is yes. What I think is the biggest thing is that people will come to me. People that are just meeting us will kind of pull me aside and say, hey, what's the deal or whatever. And I think they're just trying to be respectful and tactful. But I don't know. I think it would be, you can speak for yourself and you can explain yourself. And I think, if people just took the time and maybe had the courage to ask about you and your story, it would be more meaningful, because I don't have to speak for you.
Right.
You have a voice of your own.
Right.
Yeah. And also, I think people don't have the courage to ask.
Right.
And, yeah.
I consider myself a pretty open person.
Mm.
So while some people may not like to answer questions, I love it.
Yeah.
Ask me anything you want.
Yeah.
Especially with kids,
Mm-hmm.
I feel, and this is going to sound a bit narcissistic,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like we have to teach them,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So come ask me questions.
Yeah.
Learn about why I look the way I do.
Yeah.
So that way, when you make a friend that looks like I do,
Mm-hmm.
you already know about it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I know what this is about. We don't have to go through that whole awkward, what's the situation?
Absolutely.
We can just be friends.
And, specifically parents, if you're listening to this, talk to your kids.
Definitely.
I've had kids come up to me and ask questions, and, you answer them tactfully and respectfully.
Right.
And then they know.
And what's so funny about little kids is that they're very accepting.
So accepting.
Once they learn.
Yes.
They're very curious.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to answer their questions and fulfill their curiosity.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, okay.
And then it's no big deal.
It's no big deal.
And then you're just Liz.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So it is possible to create a world where facially different people are accepted and seen as equals to everyone else.
Yeah, we can do it.
And it starts with us.
Yeah. And it starts with you.
And it starts with you. So how about we talk about how we can help?
Yeah, I mean, it's really simple, and I'm going to sound like a broken record,
Mm-hmm.
but just treat people who look differently with kindness and treat them equally. That's basically bottom line.
Yeah.
All you gotta do. Just be kind.
Just be kind. We do sound like broken records here, but I think it's a message that we need to hear often.
Yeah.
Is just be kind.
Yeah.
I love it. We are going to highlight some organizations that are near and dear to our hearts, that are helping promote the message of facial equality. One is Face Equality International.
We love them.
We love them so much.
They're great. This is so cool. It's a global international alliance between all of these organizations, all these different causes that boil down to face equality.
I love it.
Great.
It's amazing. And we will attach their website when we post this podcast.
Yeah.
Another one is Faces.
Love Faces.
Faces helped out our family tremendously. And so we just want to give a little shout out to them. Thank
Love
you,
them.
Faces. And we'll be posting more resources on our social media.
Definitely. And sharing stories of facially different protagonists.
Absolutely. This is a cause, an issue that we hopefully will continue to talk about
Definitely.
because there's a lot to be said.
Yeah, we gotta keep this conversation going.
Absolutely. So if you have any questions at all, there's no such thing as a silly question.
No.
We just ask that you be kind. Feel free to reach out to us.
Definitely.
We love to hear from you. We love to answer your questions.
Yes, you can contact us on Instagram at Courageously Kind
Podcast. Or our Gmail at courageouslykindpodcast@gmail.com. We got an email last night. It was the sweetest thing.
Oh my gosh.
It really made our night. You know who you are. Thank you for sending us that email.
Thank you so much. It means the world to us.
It means so much to us that people are listening and people care about what we have to say. It oh my gosh, it just truly fills our hearts.
It was incredible. Thank you so much. We love to hear from you guys.
We do. Thank you for keeping these conversations about kindness going. Little t-shirt update. T-shirts are still coming, I promise.
Woohoo!
It's just taking a little bit longer than we expected.
We got to see the design this week.
We
and
did.
It looks so cool. I think you guys are really gonna like it.
We're so happy with it. We will be doing a t-shirt giveaway once we get the shirts.
Yes, we need something to give away.
We need to have them in order to give them away.
Yes.
But we will be doing a giveaway.
Yes.
Hopefully very soon.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
Have a wonderful day.
Have a wonderful week.
Yes.
We will see you back here next week.
Very soon.
Very soon. We love you so much.
Remember to love yourself and to love each other.
Absolutely. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. We love you. We'll see you soon.